Good morning, everyone. I hope you are well and enjoying the spring weather. It's nice to see many of you here today. So today we are celebrating the special Hanamatsuri service to celebrate the birth of the founder of Buddhism, Shakyamuni Buddha. And I don't know many people whose birthday is still celebrated after 2,600 years, right? So this is really amazing opportunity. And according to the legend, it is said that 2 dragons appeared in the sky and poured the sweet rain to celebrate Shakyamuni Buddha's birth. So that is why we are pouring the sweet tea over the baby Buddha's statue on Hanamatsuri Day. But anyway, I have asked some Dharma school students before, but we have dragons in Hondo, this main hall. Do you know where we have dragons? Right there, yeah, right there. So can I have my slides up on the screen? So there are 2 dragons on both sides of incense burner, right? And also both sides of the big table, which is covered with the beautiful cloth today, but you see 2 dragons. By the way, do you play Pokemon trading card game? You do? So every time I see, these 2 dragons, I remember about Gyarados. And actually, the dragons we see in Buddhist temple are all water type, not fire type, like Charizard, or the dragons in Harry Potter movies. We don't see the dragons like that in Buddhist temple, but the dragons we see are all water type dragons. So because of the episode of the dragons appearing in the sky when Shakyamuni Buddha was born, right? Dragons are considered the protector of the Buddhism teaching. And as I mentioned before, one dragon's mouth is open and other is closed. Do you remember why? So this is expressing the beginning to the end, beginning to the end. So we are in the protection of the dragons from the beginning to the end of our lives as Buddhists. Then we see a few other creatures on the incense burner. One is lion, and lion is on other places in the altar area. And some incense burner has mythic creature called kirin. And lion is often called the king of the beasts, right? King of the beasts. So even the king of the beasts are considered the protector of the Buddhism. And the sound of Dharma is just like the roar of the lion. It reaches so far away. And again, this lion reminds me of Arcanine. Doesn't it look like it? No? On the incense burner? And there's one more creature on the incense burner, which we often, overlook. They are on bottom. Did you notice this? No? They are one of the ogres, Oni, ogres, but they became protector of the Buddhism. Looks like they are suffering from, carrying something heavy. But it is said that they are so powerful, and it is actually them who said, oh, I want to carry incense burner. So they are enjoying carrying the incense burner. And I think Dharma school students are waiting for another Pokemon to come up on the screen. And what I think is, these organs are like a tin cotton maybe, a food's powerful even though the size of the body, right? And there are so many creatures and animals in the outer area, such as birds and elephants. Then why we have so many creatures and animals? What are they trying to express? So we Buddhists treasure the peace and harmony. We treasure peace and harmony. Then, where the peace and harmony starts from? Why are you paying attention to the choir song? Right? Peace begins with me, right? So, peace and harmony begins with this being. So in one of the Buddhist texts said, one's peace is others' peace. One's peace is others' peace. If one is irritated, the irritation spreads to the others. Don't you have an experience that you are irritated from playing the games or something? Then your parents scold you saying, if you get irritated, then don't play the game, right? And on the other hand, if one is at peace, the atmosphere of the person affects the circumstance. So when one is at peace, animals have no consciousness and start to gather around to the person, just like Buddha. So the creatures, animals on the outer are expressing how Buddha is at peace and how Buddhism teaching leads us to the peace and harmony. So to celebrate the birthday of Shakyamuni Buddha, who loved the peace and harmony of all beings, please be kind and gentle to every living beings, and be nice to your friends, and be friendly to the new person who is looking to fit into the group, to have fun together, okay? So let's conclude Dharma School talk with Gassho and Nembutsu. So please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namman. And now I would like to share the message for the adults, and I will share the passage from Shoshinge, which is written by our founder, Shinran Shonin. So please join me in Gassho again. Please put your palms together. 如来世に降出したもうゆえは、ただ弥陀の本願会を説かんとなりと。Shakyamuni Buddha appeared in this world solely to teach the ocean-like primal vow of Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namman. So, I would like to throw a question at you at first, and then make you think about it, okay? What is the meaning of life? Is it to earn more money? To be successful in business or work? What is the meaning of life? So this might be the difficult question to think about, but the meaning of life should not be something defined by another person, but we should find it ourselves. So to this question, Shakyamuni Buddha clearly stated, I have appeared in this world to expound the teaching of Amida Buddha, which saved multitude of beings. And he was extremely happy about, how he has the opportunity to share the teaching of Amida Buddha, which embraces all beings regardless of abilities and conditions to lead all beings to the attainment of enlightenment. So this is taught in one of the sutras titled the Raja Sutra, which is the sutra we rely on. Then some people might wonder, oh, sensei, what's your answer to this question? So, this is actually the question I was being asked about 10 years ago. And if you type in, if you go Google, Yuki Sugahara, what is the meaning of life? Then you will find my response online. At that time, I have responded, the meaning of life is to realize how our lives are existed. But maybe I should have said that, realize how our lives are existing. So I believe I wanted to focus on the teaching of dependent origination, causes and conditions, or interdependence, to nurture the mind of appreciation and gratitude. And this understanding hasn't changed. When we realize how our lives are supported by the countless causes and conditions, we realize how much we have received, or how much we are receiving from the others. And occasion to occasion, we realize how our lives are supported by the others, but we often forget about this truth in daily life. So our lives are a journey of continuing to realize how our lives are supported by the others. But now, after passing 40 years old, I started to think that, what did I leave to this world? How I contributed to the society, right? So, according to a psychologist named Erik Erikson, there are 8 life stages. And I am now in the life stages of care. And I guess most of our board members or board of trustees fit into this stage because this is the stage from 40 to 65 years old. And this is the stage of generativity, which is the word created by Erikson, meaning a concern for establishing and guiding the next generation. Concern for establishing and guiding next generation. And this is the stage of life seeking to contribute to the world by guiding next generation. And I thought, wow, psychologists, amazing, right? They put together all the information from many people and try to think about what the life stages are. I know some people don't like to be put label on you, but I thought, oh wow, this is really amazing. Then I guess this describes well what I am feeling now. And now I am trying to overcome the concern by translating various Buddhist texts into English from Japanese to guide next generations. And hopefully the translation or translated text help next generation of Jodo Shinshu followers. But thinking about it, life is impermanent. So we have no guarantee of next moment of life. I might die before finishing up my translation. But even though my work might end up being unfinished, it's okay. I am trying my best to show my figure of enjoying the teaching of Nembutsu, and this figure might lead others to walk the path of Nembutsu. Like my grandparents and the elder members I met when I was little, they were always saying, Nammandav, 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 Nammandav. Anytime, right? Anytime. Even watching TV, they say, Nammandav, Nammandav. Even after having a cup of sake, Nammandav, Nammandav. And even after they fart. But the figure of them always reciting Nembutsu remained in my heart, even though I was born in the temple minister's family to begin with, I always wondered why they always say Nammandabu. So their figure guided me to walk the path of Nembutsu. And our founder, Shinran Shonin, in his masterwork, Kyogyo Shinsho, he concluded by quoting the passage from one of the Pure Land Master's writings. And he said, "Those who have been born first guide those who come later, and those who are born later join those who are born before." So thinking about how Shinran Shonin began his Kyogyo Shinsho with the passage from the larger sutra depicting the joy of Shakyamuni Buddha sharing the teaching of Nembutsu, and concluding Kyogyo Shinsho with his, this passage, I am thinking that, this might be the conclusion of Shinran Shonin. Share the joy of Nembutsu, share the joy of encountering the teaching of Nembutsu, just like Shakyamuni Buddha did. So this passage teaches me, I don't need to feel fretfulness. Like, am I leaving something for the next generation? But showing the figure of me enjoying the teaching of Nembutsu and share what I enjoy might lead others to walk the path of Nembutsu, as my grandparents and elder members' figure did it to me. And also, this applies to anything, right? Like temple programs, scouts, Dharma school, bazaars, and so on. If it's not fun, we don't see the figure of people enjoying it, right? So it will not guide next generation. So even though I said meaning of life is to realize how our lives are existing about 10 years ago, I want to add that meaning of my life is to show how I enjoy the teaching of Nembutsu and guide next generation to walk the path of Nembutsu with joy. And on this special occasion of the birth of the founder of Buddhism, I wanted to reconfirm the meaning of my life in front of the Buddha, and I hope you will find the meaning of your life. So I would like to conclude my message with sharing the passage I have shared at the beginning of my talk. So please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together.如来世に皇出したもうゆえは、ただ皆の本願会を説かんとなりとう。Shakyamuni Buddha appeared in this world solely to teach the ocean-like primal vow of Amida. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda.